Dash. Nor had he washed his garments from the day that the king went away until the day that he came in peace. When David asked why Mephibosheth had not gone with him, Mephibosheth gave the explanation that his servant had tricked him and also said, "So he slandered your servant to my lord the king. But my lord the king is as an angel of the true God, that is, he would see the matter in its true light." David evidently recognized Mephibosheth's innocence, altering his first decree by saying, "You and Ziba should share in the field." To this Mephibosheth replied, "Let him even take the whole, now that my lord the king has come in peace to his house." 2 Saw 19. 24-30. Compare PI 18. 17. 25. 8-10. When the Gibeonites sought the death of Saul's descendants to atone for that king's evil attempt against them, David felt compassion for Mephibosheth because of the oath of Jehovah between David and Jonathan, and spared Mephibosheth. 2 Saw 21. 7, 8. The scriptures provide no further information about Mephibosheth, though Saul's family continued in existence to a later generation through Mephibosheth's son Micah. 2 Saw 9. 12. 1 Ch 9. 39-44. Evidently Mephibosheth also had a name Merib-Baal, as 1 Chronicles 8. 34 and 9. 40 would indicate. Merab from a root meaning become many abundant. The older of King Saul's 2 daughters. 1 Saw 14. 49. Saul had evidently promised to give one of them in marriage to the man who would defeat Goliath. 1 Saw 17. 25, and it may have been for that reason that he offered Merab to David. After his encounter with Goliath, David proved to be a prudent and successful fighter against the Philistines, so much so that Saul was scared of him, while the people of Israel and Judah loved him. 1 Saw 18. 15, 16. In offering Merab to David as a wife, Saul urged him on to continued valor, while thinking to himself, "Do not let my hand come to be upon him, but let the hand of the Philistines come to be upon him," hoping for David's death in battle. David, in humility, hesitated to accept the offer to become the son-in-law of the king. As matters turned out, Saul did not keep his promise, and Merab textoi acute miritra longo, Maria 374 early, and her sister Michal, rejected by David and childless, undertook the rearing, or bringing up, of the 5 boys. Hence, they were spoken of as Michal's children instead of those of Merab. In harmony with this view of 2 Samuel 21. 8. The Bible translation by Isaac Leeser speaks of the 5 sons of Michal, the daughter of Saul, whom she had brought up for Adriel, and a footnote thereon states, "As Michal was David's wife." But the children were those of Merab, the oldest daughter of Saul, who were probably educated by her sister. The Targums read, "The 5 sons of Merab which Michal, Saul's daughter, brought up with she bare." Other factors, not revealed in the scriptures, may have a bearing on the way the text was set down. Meraimi Riot possibly, rebellious. A priest and head of the paternal house of Sarah in the days of Joachim after the Jews returned from Babylonian exile. Ne 12. 12. Merioth me Raioth possibly, rebellious ones. 1. A priestly descendant of Aaron through Eleazar. Called the son of Zeruiah. 1 Ch 6. 3-7, 52. Es 7. 3, 4. 2. A priest identified as the son of Ahitub, a leader of the house of the true God and who appears to be the father of Zadok. 1 Ch 9. 10, 11. Ne 11. 11. 3. Founder of a priestly paternal house, the head of which was Helkai in the days of Joachim. Ne 12. 12, 15. Merioth, which was the name of this house following the Jews' return from Babylonian exile, may be a variation of Memuth, the name of one of the priests accompanying Zerubbabel to Jerusalem in 537 BCE. Ne 12. 1, 3. Merari Rai from a root meaning be bitter. Son of Levi and brother of Gershon, Gershom and Kohath. Ge 46. 11. 1 Ch 6. 1, 16. Since Merari is mentioned in 3rd place among Levi's sons, he may have been the youngest. He was one of the 70 members of Jacob's household who came into Egypt. GE 46. 8, 11, 26, 27 Merari had 2 sons, Mali and Mushik 6. 19. 1 ch 6. 19, and was the founder of the Merites, one of the 3 main Levite families. New 26. 57. Merites me middle dot rights of belonging to Merari. One of the 3 major families of Levites, descending from Levi's son Merari through Mali and Mushi. X6. 16, 19. New 3. 20. 26. 57, 58 The first census of the Israelites in the wilderness listed 6,200 Merarite males from a month old upward, 3,200 of these being from 30 to 50 years of age and entering the service group for the service in the tent of meeting. New 3. 33, 34. 4. 42-45 Their chieftain then was Zuriel, and their encampment was on the inside of the tabernacle. New 3. 35 During the wilderness trek the 3-tribe division of Judah was first to pull away from an encampment. Then the Gershonites and Merarites as carriers of the tabernacle pulled away, followed by the 3-tribe division of Reuben and then the Kohathite Levites. New 10. 14-21 The Merarites were in charge of the panel frames, bars, pillars, and socket pedestals of the tabernacle, as well as all its utensils and all its service, in addition to the pillars, socket pedestals, tent pins, and tent cords of the courtyard. New 3. 36, 37 To move these heavy objects, they were supplied with 4 wagons and 8 cattle. In the wilderness they and the Gershonites were under the hand of Aaron's son Itamar. New 7. 6-8 In the division of the Promised Land under Joshua, 12 cities were assigned to the Merites, 4 each from the tribal territories of Reuben, Gad, and Zebulun. One of these, Ramoth in Gilead in the territory of Gad, was a city of refuge. Jos 21. 7, 34-40. 1 ch 6. 63, 77-81. In David's day 220 Merites, with Asaiah as their chief, assisted other Levites in bringing the Ark of the Covenant to Jerusalem from the house of Obed-Edom. 1 ch 15. 1-6, 25 After the Ark had a resting place, David gave positions for the direction of the singing at the house of Jehovah to certain Merites. 1 ch 6. 31, 44-47 Other Merarites O textoi acute miritra longo, Mercy 375 derived from Mar-middle.ra, Merat may point to the intensity of Babylon's rebellion. From the days of its founder Nimrod, Babylon's course was one of rebellion against Jehovah. GE 10. 8-10. Merchant. One who buys and sells or barters with expectation of making a profit. A tradesman or a tradeswoman. The Hebrew term rendered merchant literally refers to one who travels about for commercial purposes. GE 34. 10. FTN. Very early in man's history people became skilled in certain fields of endeavor, specializing in their occupation. GE 4. 20-22 Commerce and trade between them naturally followed, and in the course of events, many individuals worked exclusively as merchants and traders handling a great variety of commodities. By the time Abraham reached Canaan early in the 2nd millennium BCE certain mercantile weights and measures were used and recognized. GE 23. 16 The Mosaic law commanded that the merchant's measurements be standardized and just. De 25. 13-16. PR 11. 1. 20. 10. Mixix. 11. Some merchants were shopkeepers. Others did business in the cities in marketplaces and bazaars. NE 13. 20 Some owned fleets of ships that plied the high seas to bring back valuable cargoes of merchandise from distant lands. PS 107. 23. PR 31. 14 Other traders were travelers who followed the extensive overland trade routes of the ancient world. 1 Chi 10. 14, 15. 2 ch 9. 13, 14 Joseph was sold by his brothers to such traveling merchants headed for Egypt. GE 37. 25, 28. All the nations, small and great, had their merchants, and through their activity many were made rich. There were the merchants of Ethiopia Isa 45. 14, of Assyria Nar 1. 3. 16, of the kingdom of Solomon 1 Kai 10. 28. 2 ch 1. 16, and of Sidon and Tyre Isa 23. 2, 8. Ezekiel's prophecy describes the city of Tyre as a great commercial center to which the ships and caravans from all parts of the world came and did business. This same prophecy also describes the great variety of merchandise these merchants handled, which enriched this port city, such things as silver, iron, tin, lead, copper articles, horses, mules, ivory, ebony, turquoise, wool, dyed fabrics, corals, rubies, wheat, special foodstuffs, honey, oil, balsam, wine, cassia, cane, garments of woven material, perfumes, precious stones, and gold. As 27. 2, 12-25. The Greek word empomittel.trosporos meaning journey refers to a traveling merchant, or one on a journey. An example is the traveling merchant in Jesus' illustration who searched for fine pearls of great price. Mount 13. 45 It is the traveling merchants that the symbolic book of Revelation says are made rich by the great harlot. Babylon the Great, the mother of the harlots, and who weep and mourn over her downfall and destruction. Re 17. 1, 5. 18. 3, 11-15 Babylon the Great also has her own traveling merchants, the top-ranking men of the earth. Re 18. 23. Mercy. An expression of kind consideration or pity that brings relief to those who are disadvantaged.